Good afternoon, Mug and Nung. Hop on and welcome to today's episode of My PI Dream. Today we are into episode number 2 of the new home build series for the build that's being done right across the street from Villa Feliz here. We are in a catch-up mode right now. I have footage that's archived for about 20 days. And the reason it's archived because we were waiting on that architectural rendering that you saw in the previous episode, episode number 1. So that's out there, and what we're going to do, all the footage from the really important aspects of the build that I captured prior to current day today, we're going to go ahead and present that in maybe about 3 episodes, so you don't miss any of the real important details of what's going into this build. So I hope you're not confused, but we'll be almost to real time after about 3 episodes. Just take that into consideration. So let's go ahead and get today's episode started. Now without further delay, let's get today's video underway. Alright, well I am working on the formwork on my project here, the pavilion project. Let's go ahead and walk over to the build across the street, because that's really what this episode is about, not what I'm doing over here at the pavilion. You've already seen this if you've been watching my videos. Now I just want to tell you, I knew these guys were working today. Today's actually a holiday, but they got approved for overtime work over here on this lot. And I can't hear anything from the lot over I'm at Villa Feliz. I couldn't hear anything. I didn't even know these guys were here. But the closer that you get to these guys over here, well, I'm going to show you what they're doing from 2 vantage points. From the drop off from the back of the lot, and then we're going to walk down there. I couldn't figure out even how to get down there for a while because, well, you'll see what I'm talking about once you look over this ridge. So again, this is where the cistern and the swimming pool are going to be. You can see it's a big drop off down here to the back perimeter of the wall, and on the other side of that wall is a creek. And it's wonderful to hear the water falling over the rocks of the creek. But you really can't appreciate what these guys are doing from here. So let's go down in the area where they're working at. You'll see that we're getting a backyard that's being built with basically tier level that's going to bring its way up to the front yard. All right, now before we go down to the next level, I just want to show, this is basically like 3 levels here. I am sort of in the cistern. I'm kind of standing in the cistern. I'm assuming that that's what these markings are right here. Then above the cistern is going to be the swimming pool. And over that hill is actually the back of the house. And there is another level down, even from the bottom of the cistern right here, which is this area right here. And you see they're working hard to do, they're doing some support back here to make sure that, well, they have a yard, and also that they're going to do some retaining wall back here to give it strength, so that in the event there is any seismic activity or any overflow of water, that the wall that they put in is much stronger than the wall that the developer put in back there. So when nobody's talking about support in the back so that they have strength in the event of something like a seismic event or even too much water flowing down here, what is going on, like I said earlier, they're going to be putting a retaining wall. But to be able to do a retaining wall, you have to have, well, let the engineer who's working on this project right here kind of explain this to you. Anyway, explain what's going on down here.
This is the formworks for retaining wall, putting, strip putting. Then we're going to install rebars, then pouring a concrete for strip putting.
All of this right here, all the way up to the corner of the property. I just want to show you something about the back of this property, about how it's so deep down, and how it's going to isolate them from sounds everywhere around the community, whether it be Lyre proper, the barangay, anywhere around here. You hear the generator running right now. Let's go out with the generator running, go out of this backyard area, go towards our house, and you'll see, you won't even know the generator is running back here. Now I'm over here in my backyard here now. Although we have a little bit of music going on inside the background using the yard speakers, you can't even hear the generator over there. Now, since the owner isn't here right now, he's actually in quarantine up in Manila, waiting to come here to see the beginning of his build. But what's happening in the time frame that he's in quarantine, construction doesn't stop here on the site. So I have here this morning, I have here the owner of Caribbean Construction, and this is Romeo right here. And what he's going to do, he's going to explain some of the details about the footing support back here, and which will be part of the retaining wall that will provide all the strength for the backyard so that we don't have any issues. So anyway, this is Romeo. So hey Romeo.
Hey, how are you? Good morning.
Hey, can you do me a favor? Can you give me a few details about what you're actually doing back here? The purpose, some of the details about the size of the rebar and the spacing, things like that, and explain what's actually going on here.
Now, actually, the rebar that we're using for the strip putting, they call it strip putting. This is for the retaining wall, and I'm using the continuous rebar. It's 16 mm, and the ring, it is 12 mm. And the vertical bars for the retaining wall, It is 20 centimeter on center, and I'm using the vertical, which is 16 mm, and 12 mm horizontal at 30 centimeter on center.
What we're going to do, we're going to continue to follow. We're going to follow everything that you're doing here. And right now, it's basically putting all the metal work inside. And I think tomorrow or the next day, you'll be doing pour, right? You'll be doing,
Yes.
What we'll do, we'll also follow them when they do the big pour of the footing back here as well. We'll watch every stage of this, because this is very important, because of the topography here, and because a lot of this is backfill right here, to do it right and make it strong, he has to work from the back to the front, where normally you do everything all at one time. You start with the bottom, all your footings. But this is a particularly challenging job. But this guy has done this before in the British Virgin Islands, and he knows how to do jobs just like this right here. Well, there you have it. Episode number 2 complete. The main importance of this episode was to just show you the back of the property, some of the support that needs to be done prior to doing any of the other portion of the house. You always have to have a strong foundation. You have to have that strong footer support so that you can build upon that, literally. Well, that's it for today's episode. Episode number 3, you'll see some really interesting information about doing the formwork, and I believe we might even be getting to some of the pour for the next episode in that area in the backyard. Well, until next time, if you enjoyed today's video, please give me a thumbs up. Please share it, and if you have not subscribed, click on that little My PI Dream. In the bottom right hand side of your screen, you'll be subscribed and notified if you ring that bell next time I upload new videos. So until such time, from right here in the wonderful Philippines, you have a wonderful and blessed day. If you enjoyed today's episode and you would like to see more just like these, just click on one of the helpful links over to your right, and you might be able to pick up on some good information on DIY projects, how to, or if you are interested in moving to the Philippines and building, you'll find answers there as well.